Now, Arkansas fans are mad at me. Can't please everybody. And Arkansas fans are mad at Golden Blue Dude. Yes, they are. I quit trying to please everybody a long time ago. If you like my content, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I speak my mind, and I'm pretty close most of the time. Most of the time. Ain't perfect. I'm human, but I do know my stuff. So it's the best way I can explain it to people is, well, it's like anything. You take the information that you have at hand, right? You do your research. You look at the stats, who left, who's coming back, what the other teams look like, and you come up with your best answer. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But as long as you go by the stats, the facts, talent turnover, and you also have to compare schedule to schedule. How tough was last year's schedule compared to how tough was this year's schedule? Yes, it changes from year to year. One year you will have a tougher schedule than the next. You put that all together and you come up with your best answer. And it doesn't always, make everybody smile, especially the fan bases you're talking to. It is what it is. So today it seems like I've made Arkansas fans mad, and perhaps I'm wrong about Arkansas. Here's what I think about Arkansas real quick. They did have some talent turnover. They lost a lot of their experience, a lot of it. I understand that they got some pieces in the transfer portal. But Arkansas isn't Alabama, meaning Alabama gets top talent, bunches and bunches of top talent, and they seem to mesh well, like instantly. The coaches at Alabama know what they're doing. I think Arkansas will have talent this year, but they're all new because pretty much their entire defense is gone. I do think Arkansas will have a good offense, but they're going to need that defense. That's why I think Arkansas will take a step back. Well, Arkansas fans do not agree with me at all right now. And a couple of days ago, Georgia fans were not too pleased with me because I said Georgia lost pretty much their entire defense. I mean, Georgia had a decent offense. We all know that. But it was their defense that won that national championship. It was their defense that won that national championship. Georgia, and I'm going on record right now, Georgia is not going to win the national championship this year. Don't twist that. Go to Blue Dude said that Georgia's going to fall off a cliff or they're going to suck really bad. Not going to make. No, that's not what I said. I didn't say Georgia's going to suck. I didn't say they weren't going to make a bowl. I didn't say they were going to have a losing season. I didn't say their program was going to fall off a cliff. I said Georgia's not winning the national championship, and that's what they're mad about. They think because they won the national championship this year, now they're all of a sudden Alabama and they're going to win it every year. That's not how it works. Even Alabama doesn't do that. Alabama's pretty much in the conversation every year, but go back and look year by year by year. Alabama does not win the national championship every year. Maybe every other year, but not every year. You're asking for like a Patriot dynasty or something like that when you start talking like that. So, I'm not poking Georgia. I'm just bringing that back up because today I made Arkansas fans mad. So no matter what I say, I'm going to make somebody mad. So I was just, saying earlier it was Georgia. Today it's Arkansas. Tomorrow it's going to be somebody else, and on and on and on. All right, guys. Y'all know what to do. But if you haven't already, hit the like button. That like button is very, very, very important. And I've noticed all over YouTube that whenever somebody has a live show, they don't mention this and they don't explain it. That's the big thing. Everybody says, hey, please hit the like button. It helps the video. Okay? How does it help the video? Nobody ever explains it. It helps the video because it hits the YouTube algorithm. Those likes hit the algorithm, and it gets suggested more. So more people see the video, more people click on it, they come in, they hit the like button, and it just keeps going on and on. And those of y'all that come to my live shows a lot, you know that it's true. You literally see the fruits of you hitting the like button whenever the video gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That is the only way it grows, is hitting the like button. That's it. Me talking more, that doesn't do anything. Nobody knows I'm here. Hitting the like button, that's what grows it. So please, please, please hit that like button. It helps us all, not just me. It helps you too. Keep the Gators out of my mouth. I mean, I'm going to talk about the Gators, but I think the Gators are going to have a better year this year. I don't think they're going to have a much better year this year. Maybe in the neighborhood of like a 8-4, maybe sniffing a 9-3, something like that. I think the SEC East is much more manageable this year, and that's one of the reasons why I predicted Georgia to take a step back this year. The playing field, instead of Georgia up here and the rest of the SEC East, well, heck, basically the rest of the SEC besides Alabama was right here. So you have this gap. That was last year. Go look at all the final scores of Georgia. They didn't just beat everybody. They blasted everybody. I mean, whooped them. So here's what's going to happen this year, right? Georgia will come down. They're not going to come down to where the teams were. They're going to come down about halfway right here. But these teams will go up. So Georgia's going to see a lot more 50-50 football games. My question is, can Stetson Bennett be the quarterback to win those 50-50 football games? I don't think he is. I think he's good enough to not lose a game. Like if you're ahead by, a touchdown, 10 points, 2 scores, whatever, he's good enough to not lose you that game. He's not gonna turn the ball over and take huge sacks or whatever. But he does not have the arm to win a game for Georgia. You know what? Yeah, we can do a call-in show. That's cool. Let me make sure the phone line is plugged up. I haven't invested in the soundboard yet, so we got to do it old school. But that's okay because it works for the most part. So those of y'all that, well, usually it does. It looks like it's being stupid now. Right when I come in my phone, that's how it always works. Come on, you idiot. There we go. So those of you that already know the call-in number, you can call in. Stupid thing. Whenever you want. If you don't have the number, email us. I was not organized enough to start this live show. Give me 1 second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the live show because Joey's having issues with his carrier. So what I'm going to do is, all right, there you go. So I posted the email in the chat for y'all. If you don't have the call-in number, send me an email to that. It's refsuck@gmail.com. Yes, real email. That's the real name of it. 2 things I need from you in that email. Just 2. I need your name. And just as importantly, I need the number that you're calling from. So when you email that email, tell me your name and the number that you're calling from. That's how we kind of control the troll population. Martin77 with the $9.99 super chat. Appreciate that, buddy. He says, great work. I look forward to your videos every day. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. And you know what? I love doing videos every day. I love doing videos for anybody that wants to watch them. I love doing it. That's one of the main things that I always hope for. Whenever somebody watches one of my videos, I hope that my energy and my joy and excitement for college football comes through the screen. That's the whole deal for this channel and all the videos and shows that I put out. So I'm glad that you enjoy the channel and my videos. That's what makes me feel pretty good. I'm doing something. I don't do everything right, but I'm doing something a little bit right. So I definitely appreciate the kind words, especially, and people don't realize this, every day, people trash talk, and this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's from West Virginia. He's from the Boondocks and blah blah. And I've gotten used to it. Like I said in the intro earlier, you got to have thick skin to do this. Yes, but whenever somebody says something nice, it's refreshing. It kind of gives you a jolt of energy, saying, "Yeah, let's keep doing this." People actually kind of, sort of, maybe roundabout like this. So yeah, it's awesome. All right, Ballard said he just sent an email. Let me see if I can check my email from here real quick. Hold on. Oh man, yeah, it's been not a long day, but I've put out 2 videos so far, and my son was sick yesterday, so it's been interesting. It's been interesting. Hold on, Ballard. If the number that I send you doesn't work, just email back and say it doesn't work, because I get one number mixed up, one number, and it. Of course, one number is all it takes. But if that doesn't work, say nope, and then I'll change the one number that I usually get mixed up. But I think this is right. I think this is right. We'll see. We'll see. How's everybody doing though? I'm having a pretty good week so far. The weekend's almost here, believe it or not. It feels like freaking yesterday was Memorial Day weekend, and now we're looking at another weekend coming. I mean, I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. Not complaining at all. But this week has gone by a lot quicker than most weeks, so I'm pretty happy about that. Hopefully, it's doing the same for y'all. That's always a good. Whenever the week actually goes by at a decent pace, that's a good week for me. All right, let's see who we got here. Hey, you're on Go to Blue, dude.
Hey,
you there?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Nothing much.
What's on your mind this evening?
Really how the quarterback situation is with most teams. There's not, like, if you think about it, there's not much NFL talent again this year.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I would go a step further and say a lot of teams are in bad quarterback shape. In other words, they either they don't know who they have or who it's going to be, or they do know and it's less than impressive. I think last year it seemed like a bunch of teams had great quarterbacks, and this year it's totally different. And I know the draft happens every year, but it seems like this year there was a significant drop.
Especially from like last year, not having really that many quarterbacks drafted in the first round.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, so even for Georgia, right? They know who their starting quarterback is, Stetson freaking Bennett. But my gosh, he's not an elite quarterback. Like, they could still have JT. Okay, so like a sane person, a sane knows about college football person, you have 2 choices: Stetson Bennett or JT Daniels. And I know JT Daniels has had injury issues, and Georgia is prone to, for whatever reason, their players get injured. Whoever's calling, you'll have to call back here in just a minute, or I might actually call them back. I unfortunately only have one line, so I can only talk to one person at a time. But when I'm done with them, either you can call me back or I'll call the number back. Either way, that works. Whenever I invest in the soundboard, we'll get multiple lines on here. But the point is, Georgia does have a starting quarterback. He was their starting quarterback for most of last year, and they won the national championship, right? That sounds good on paper. Wow. We get our starting quarterback that started most of the year last year, and we won a national championship last year. I like our chances. The problem is, it wasn't your offense that won the national championship for Georgia. It was their defense. So if I had a choice between Stetson Bennett and JT Daniels, I would still choose JT Daniels.
Or, like, they could do rotation. You need to throw the ball down the field, give it to JT. You need to run the ball to Stetson.
Yeah, I think Kirby's a little too committed to Stetson. And last year, Kirby thinks that last year proved him right. It didn't prove him right about the quarterback situation. It proved him right about the defense.
Mm-hmm. And if you really do look at it, if there's no standout quarterback, then what's like? If we're saying that the passing game and the defense is not saying it's just a passing game, then what's college football going to be in the future?
College football, that's an interesting question because I think college football in the future is going to be sort of shrunk as far as watchability. We're going to have these 40, 50 teams that's going to split off from the NCAA, create their own conference league, whatever, NFL junior or NFL minor league, whatever. In that league, probably every team will have an elite quarterback because they're going to be paying money. That's what that league's going to be all about, is basically the stepping stone for the NFL. It's the level under that. What is that next level going to look like? Who's going to get left out? Because you got brands like even my team, West Virginia, I would think isn't a definite, for sure thing to make the cut on that. Other brands like, say, even a Cincinnati who just got to the playoffs. Think of that. Cincinnati, a group of 5 team, yes, they just made the playoffs, might not make the cut for that top 40, 50 team league. And then you have your Oregon States, your Washington States, your Colorados, names that we all know and to some degree sort of care about. Big brands, but not big enough to make the cut. That's my question. What is that second level going to look like? Because basically they're going to get the leftovers.
So they'll be like the groups.
Yeah. Basically. So what we see now, Power 5 stepping down to the group of 5, talent difference, it's going to be basically the same thing, except teams that are in the Power 5 won't be in that upper level. They'll get left out. I don't know what criteria they're going to have to make that top 40 or 50 for that conference. It's going to be interesting because they're not going to accept everybody. I'll tell you that right now. You're going to have to be a moneymaker.
But would you have to be straight football, straight basketball?
You got to be. Well, no, this is football. Football only. Right. This NCAA will still be over basketball. That's why the big dance will still happen. That's the NCAA tournament. But everything else football related, that'll be a split off.
Some of these people talking about 64 teams in NFL thing. I mean, in college football playoffs. That's not going to work.
No, and the biggest proponent of that was Mike Leach. He really loves the NCAA tournament, and he thinks college football should do the same. That would be a mess. I like 12 teams with the top 4 getting a bye. Everybody gets a home playoff game until, let's say, the semifinals. Then you can go to the bowl setup. I think that would be a good deal. So you'd have the first round, seeds 5 through 12, and then seeds 1 through 4 get the bye week. Winner of the first round goes on to play 1 through 4. That 1 through 4, they get home playoff games. And then the next round, when it's down to 4, that's when you go to your bowl format. And you can still get, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bowls out of that. No, wait, excuse me. 1, 2, 3 bowls out of that, which is all you need for the top bowls. And then you reward the teams that didn't make the playoffs with the other bowls. Everybody makes money. That's the thing that I'm talking about. Like, you expand the playoffs, everybody makes more money. What's the problem?
But, all right, so, they're going to have to do the 40-team conference. There's no way they can do a 50 because how would the conference playoffs work for them?
Well, the reason that would work is because it's one conference, and then it would be the top, and then whatever they set it at. Top 8 teams make it. Top 12 teams make it, whatever. So the number of teams that are in the conference really doesn't matter because they can make whatever number they want for the playoffs. So you have a 50-team league, right? And just like the NFL, I think for the NFL, it's the top 12 or top 16. I know they go by divisions, whoever wins the division, wild cards, and all that stuff. And college football could do something like that, but whoever the number that get. I mean, it could even be an odd number like 33 or 57. Whatever. As long as the playoffs themselves are even numbers, that's all that matters.
But what? All right, let's think about teams that are gonna get into the Power 5 soon.
Okay.
Would they end up making top 40, top 50 teams if they were in Power 5 and still, since they would have bad years coming in, what do you think would happen in the future if we did get to the 40, 50? Would they even make the cut because of their recent years in the new conference?
That's a pretty good question. I don't think getting into the Power 5 would guarantee you getting into that next level that we're talking about. I think it's going to be based on money, strictly money. So if these teams that were just like, okay, Cincinnati, UCF, BYU, and Houston, all right, they're going to be Power 5 teams, right? Well, if they can prove that they can make a lot of money for the Big 12, then their value goes up. Then they would be considered for that next conference. It's all about how much money you can make for college football. That's what it's all about. So just being a Power 5 team doesn't mean that you will be in the new conference or league, whatever they call it. So it'll be about money, straight up.
Well, what if you're giving your money to your Group of 5 conference?
Well, they don't make as much money though.
Yeah, see, that's screwed up.
Yeah, that's the direction college football is going in.
Man,
I know.
Because you got Boise State over there, you got Memphis, you got man. To be honest, there's plenty of BYU.
Yeah.
I mean,
BYU should have been a Power 5 a long time ago. I agree. All right, man. I'm gonna give Ballard a chance to call back in. Try to get as many phone calls in as possible. But that was actually a pretty good conversation. I actually have some things to think about now.
All right, bye.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Have me on.
Huh? I didn't catch that last part. But yeah, it's all about the money. It is all about the money. I'm not sure if that was Ballard that called in earlier, but whoever called earlier, you can call back now. Phone line open. I'm trying to give everybody about 10, 15 minutes. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I think this is Ballard. I'm not sure, though. Hey, you're on Golden Bluetooth.
Hey, man, it is Ballard. How you doing?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I've really been enjoying your content lately. You've been working pretty hard with it, and wanted to just say that. But I saw an article earlier on CBS Sports, and it was about how the Power 5 can form equity without divisions, and a key point was that they wanted to eliminate all the divisions without using pods, have each conference play 8 conference games, and ensure that teams play every conference opponent at least once within 2 or 3 seasons, depending on how the structure is. So
wait. Go back. Explain that last point you just said. Explain that again.
They want to make sure teams play every conference opponent at least once within a 2 or 3 year span, depending on how the structure is.
That is genius. I like it. I thought that's what you said. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants everybody to understand that. Texas hasn't played USC since the last championship. Well, let them play every other year if it's possible, or every 3 years, or every 4 years, whatever the rotation is. I know it's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't think that we would want to see more of Georgia and Alabama in the regular season? I mean, come on. I mean, that's just one of the many matchups. And I think without divisions in football, I think wouldn't it guarantee – I mean, think about it. With the Big 12, you don't have divisions. You got 12 teams. You literally are pairing up the 2 best teams in the conference for the championship. If you don't have divisions in the other ones, you can do the same thing and ensure, we know we got the 2 best teams in the championship that truly deserve to be in there, instead of this – well, it's only because they're at the top of their division Because, I mean, we've had times where, you know, you get like a 11-1 Alabama, or I remember, I think Florida's had a year where they won the East, but they were 9-3 or 10-2.
Yep.
So, I mean, and how many times do we have an LSU or an Auburn or whoever sitting out, or even like, I don't know if I want to use 2017 because I'm sure. Well, let me ask you this. If we go back to 2017 real quick, if we don't have divisions, do you think the SEC championship, if the Iron Bowl is still the outcome it was, is it still Georgia and Auburn without divisions?
Mm-mm.
It would be Alabama, Georgia, and you
Yep.
truly get basically what you had in the Natty. You get the two best teams, it seemed like.
Yeah, I agree with that. Speaking of a Georgia fan, Mayhem Matthew, $10 super chat. Appreciate that. He says, you act like UGA caught lightning in a bottle, as LSU did. Wrong. UGA went to a New Year's Six Bowl every year since 2017, which I've said before. Been to 4 SEC titles, SEC East, in the last 5. Yes, Kirby is the best defense of mind in football. You know, I agree with everything you said, so I don't know why you're saying I'm wrong. I didn't say that Georgia caught lightning in a bottle, and I didn't say Georgia was falling off a cliff. I'm saying, like every team in the history of anything in college football who loses a lot of talent from a national championship team, they will take a step back. A step back doesn't mean they're not going to make. In fact, I said Georgia will probably make a New Year's Six Bowl in one of my videos. I literally said that. I said Georgia, a step back for Georgia, for anybody else, is a great season. A New Year's Six Bowl, that's not a bad deal. I literally said that in one of my videos, so I don't know why they keep acting like I'm saying that Georgia's going to, not even make a bowl or have a losing season or not make a New Year's Six. No, for the 1,000th time, no, that's not what I said.
They could even make it back to the college football playoff. Who's to say they can't even do that?
Especially, that's why I'm having difficulty predicting the SEC East, because I do think the game. Here's one thing for sure: the games are going to be closer for Georgia this year. They're not going to be able to blow out everybody like they did last year.
Right.
So the fact that the games are going to be closer, more 50-50-ish, Georgia, slight step back, everybody else, slight step forward. It could be Georgia wins the East again, and then once they get into the SEC Championship, anything happens. You win, you're in. They could very well, make the playoffs again. But at the same time, Tennessee could win the East. Kentucky could win the East. I think South Carolina has a chance to win the East only because of how their schedule sets up. And I think South Carolina beats Georgia this year. And I know. I'm crazy for saying that. I know. I've heard it 1,000 times. Get it out of your system. That's my prediction. Sorry if you don't like it.
Hey, I got one more thing for you real quick before I get off of here. Your thoughts on what you expect for Alabama's defense this year with Will Anderson coming back, and then we got a guy stepping up in Dallas Turner. What do you think?
I think and I said this last year, actually during the season. I said Alabama's going to be very dangerous this year. Alabama, I don't think their defense will be quite as good as what Georgia's was this year, but it will be comparable, and Alabama will have the best offense in the nation. I think Alabama goes undefeated and has a Georgia-like season and wins the national championship.
Let's go. I like what I'm hearing, man. Hey, thank you so much for taking my call. Roll Tide.
All right, bud. See you. I agree with most of what he said. And yeah, the divisions thing was whoever came up with that is stupid. I understand. The reason divisions were invented, thought of, whatever you want to call it, is because of regions. You have a huge conference, so they're like, in order to make travel easier for this side, we'll make a West Division and an East Division. Or if the conference up and down, we'll make a North Division and a South Division. What they didn't do is they couldn't think ahead and consider the possibility that one division is going to be way better than the other division, 7 or 8 times out of 10. And then every once in a while, the other division is better and vice versa. So we're seeing a lot of these matchups. And a great example of this was when Clemson played Virginia. I think Virginia was like 8-4 or 7-5. It was one of those two, either 8-4 or 7-5 against Clemson, who had one loss or undefeated. And of course, Clemson rolled them. And I'm not sure who was second in the ACC that year, but there was somebody that had a better record in the Atlantic. I'm trying to think of who it was. Can't really think of it, but there was somebody that had a better record than Virginia that would have made at least a more competitive ACC championship game than what we saw. So I am all for no divisions and the conference championship between the two best teams. When you say championship, that's what it should be. A championship should be between the two best teams. Two best teams. So that's why I say get rid of divisions, because your championships will be the two best teams. That's why I like the NCAA tournament a lot, the big dance. I know that's not feasible for college football, and I wouldn't even suggest it. No. Bad idea. That is way too many games for college football. But for basketball, it's perfect. And if you've watched every tournament, it's for the most part been the two best teams. And if one of the best teams that should have been there didn't get there, well, they shouldn't have lost. Andre King, a great supporter of Golden Blue Dude. I appreciate the $5 super chat. You're awesome, man. If you leave a comment, since you left the super chat, I didn't see any comment with your super chat. So if you want to leave a comment, I'll try to find it and read it for you. But I appreciate your support, man. You're always a great supporter. Great show, guys. I've liked both phone calls so far. Anybody else that has the number to the show, feel free to call in. If you don't have the number, I will repost my email real quick. Give me 1 second. I probably should have had it brought up anyways, but I don't think they had sometimes. It's okay. We got this. All right. So I will put this in the chat for y'all. There's the email. All you got to do is email me your name and the number you're calling from. That is how we make sure that you're real and that you're not a troll. The first time that I gave out my call-in number on a live show was horrendous. I don't have a soundboard like Uncle Lou, Coach Coop, or any of the bigger shows. I don't have a soundboard, so I don't have a dump button right now. So right now that's how we have to monitor the situation, I guess. By the way, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. That's how we grow the video. On live shows, I've noticed people do not say this enough. That is what literally makes the video grow. Hit the like button, get suggested more, because it hits the algorithm and we get more viewers. Yeah, you're on Golden Blue Dude. Hold on. There we go. Go ahead.
I'm glad I'm on with you. Hey, I was showing the chat. I told Millis to think of a number. He didn't understand what I was saying, though. But everybody in the chat, there's 42 people here.
Yeah.
I want everybody to type in a number between 1 and 42. Yeah, and Chris, you think of a number? And the person that types in the right number is going to win something.
Okay. Do we know what that something is?
Yeah, I got it here. We'll get the copy mode.
All right. I have the number in my head for sure. If I see somebody come up with it. Have people guessed before? Let me slide up a little bit, make sure no one has guessed it yet, because I just now thought of it. No, not yet. You want me to hold on? Let me send it to you so that way you know as well. Hold on. Give me one. You know what? I'm going to let T2Y post that. I don't know why I asked for my approval anyways. Guys, breaking news. Hurricane T2Y is 1 subscriber away from 10,000. We have a winner. I was about to text it to you, but somebody just won it, and the winner is Christopher McDavitt. He wins.
Christopher McDavitt.
He got it. Number 37 was the number.
Christopher, email me at footballnewshour@gmail.com.
I'll type that in the chat for you.
Joey will type in the Gmail in the chat. You just you Mr. McDavitt, you won. I was literally about to send the number to Joey, and you typed in 37. That's the number that I was thinking of. I'm going to scroll up just to double check. I don't think somebody said 37 before. I see 27 from Ballard. That was close. 35 from David. I think that was the first guesses right there. Yep. He got it. He got it. He got it. We're good.
Good deal. Well, that's all I wanted because
Can you disclose the prize since there's a winner now?
Yeah, we're going to give away coffee mugs.
Coffee mug. So merchandise from the store, and today's prize is a coffee mug.
Yep. And so anyway, good deal.
Oh, hold on. Christopher McDavitt wants to know who was the channel I just mentioned. Hurricane T2Y. He's a Miami Hurricane YouTuber. Me and him actually do some collaborations, which we need to get back onto that groove. Hurricane T2Y, if you're still watching, we need to get back on that groove. I have a lot of fun with him. But yeah, he said he's 1 subscriber away. Maybe he's not 1 subscriber away anymore. Maybe somebody did their job. But there you go. Go ahead, Joey. Sorry.
Right, we'll let somebody call in that wants to talk some college football. I just wanted to get something away.
Okay.
Have a good one, man.
Okay, bud. Thank you.
All right.
All right, later, man. My sponsor, my supporter, man. I'm telling you, Joey's got my back, giving away prizes, and he gets me great guests. I'm telling you guys, he's along with me, the backbone of, well, I mean, my subscribers, we're all the backbone of Golden Blue Dude, but that guy, he puts in work. Did somebody hit that subscribe button, T2Y? You're at 10,000. By the way, guys, that is a major milestone. Major milestone. That's why we're trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the season, because that's the next step. It opens up. Subscribers isn't just a pat on the back. It's a goal because it opens up doors here. You get more percentage from YouTube. They recommend your videos more because they see that your audience is growing. So 10,000 is a big deal. Congratulations to T2Y. Even if you haven't gotten that extra sub, I'm sure you will. So I'm going to go ahead and congratulate you on 10,000 subscribers. Awesome, man. Millis Vanilla says, I'm only 9,872 subs from 10,000. Chugging away, man. Chugging away. Mayhem Matthew, $5 super chat. He says, I'm 18 from 100 and it's free. He brings up a good point. It is tough getting subscribers. So one of the things we try to remind people is it's free. It's free. Sometimes they just don't want to hit that. But Mayhem Matthew is only 18 away. I met Mayhem Matthew at the Slav Olympics. Great guy. He was awesome to hang out with. So, you know what? Let me make sure. But yeah, I appreciate that $5 super chat, by the way. By the way, I'm looking at my stream right now, and I'm seeing, let me refresh so I have my numbers right real quick. Hold on. We have 54 watching and 35 likes. I need everybody that hasn't hit the like button to hit the like button or hit the down button. Either way, it both helps the YouTube video. You can even ask the people that have been here from the beginning. They hit the like button, got bigger. Next wave, hit the like button, got bigger. And that's how we build the show. So round of applause to all the people that's hitting the like button. You're the reason why the video is doing well. I would say it's doing well. So I appreciate the $5 super chat, Mayhem Matthew. But yeah, if y'all haven't checked out Mayhem Matthew, he's 18 away. In fact, right now, while I'm talking to you, live show, I'm pretty sure that I'm subscribed to him, but just in case, sometimes even myself, I forget. Well, you can ask Joey. I actually forget a lot. I might not be, you know what? I'm not subscribed. There you go. You just gained a subscriber, Mayhem Matthew, from Golden Blue Dude. So now you are 17 subscribers away from 100. So, yeah. Golden Blue Dude is now subscriber Mayhem Matthew. Yes, exploring with Ben. Exactly. More thumbs up, more thumbs down helps the video. Either way, it's not about like stroking my ego or patting me on the back. It's all about you guys and the video. It allows more people to see this video. That's what it helps. One thing that I've been talking about a lot is a lot of scenarios or possibilities for conference expansion. And I think a lot of people think whenever I put out a video on that, I'm saying that's going to happen. That's not what I'm doing. I'm exploring different avenues. But there is a specific avenue that I think is more likely than other avenues. I've said it before. I'm saying it again. The ACC is going after West Virginia. That's one of the reasons why the ACC petitioned the NCAA to do away with divisions. Because now that divisions are done away with, you don't have to have an even amount. So for the ACC, getting West Virginia isn't contingent on having to get somebody else now. Now they can just get West Virginia. But maybe they are working on a partner like a Memphis or Notre Dame or somebody else I don't know about and bringing in two. What I'm saying is now they don't have to bring somebody with if they can't find a partner. Because think of it. In the past, conference expansion, you always got to bring an expansion buddy. Even whenever it was the ACC, they brought in, let's see, first four was Miami, Virginia Tech, Boston College, and Syracuse. I think that was the first four. And then for the SEC, the first round was Texas A&M and Missouri. And they also, no, I think that was it for them. But the Big 12 also lost Nebraska and Colorado. That's 2 to the Pac-12. And then more recently, the SEC or the Big 12 lost Oklahoma and Texas. That's 2, and brought in BYU, Cincinnati, UCF, and Houston because they were wanting to get that 12. They still have to be even for divisions, but now that divisions are not passed, the Big 12 doesn't have to do divisions either. So it helps everybody. And I do agree with Hurricane T2Y in the chat. He says West Virginia will beat Pitt. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it with you. Whenever I made the bet with Talk is Pitt, a Pitt subscriber of mine, which me and him actually get along a lot. But we made the bet. I can't remember the exact month, but I think it was during the season when we found out West Virginia was playing Pitt. And at the time, West Virginia and Pitt were in a spot to where I was like, yeah, West Virginia can beat Pitt. We hadn't had the down year that we had yet, and Pitt hadn't had the great year that they had yet. So then the season is over with. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not good. This is not good. Pitt has a really good shot of beating West Virginia because, Pitt just had a great season. West Virginia, a letdown season. Then the off season happened. It started off rocky. Not going to lie. We lost Mesidor. Not looking good. But then we made some moves. We went out and got, offensive coordinator Graham Harrell, huge upgrade. He might have been as good of an upgrade as getting actually JT Daniels, because one thing people don't realize is West Virginia didn't really even have an offensive coordinator. I mean, Neil Brown tried to call the plays, but he couldn't really do a good job of it. Jared Parker was a poor man's version of an offensive coordinator. West Virginia goes out and gets a pretty stinking good offensive coordinator, Graham Harrell. That leads to getting JT Daniels. So that's a double up. We up with Graham Harrell, and then we up again with JT Daniels. On the flip side, of course, Pitt already lost Kenny Pickett. They had gained Keaton Slovis. But then I come to find out Keaton Slovis didn't do very well in the spring game. That's a good sign. Pitt lost their offensive coordinator, Mark Whipple. I think he went to Nebraska. And then comes USC and snags Jordan Addison, by far the best player of Pitt. I am feeling very good about the backyard brawl now. Like, I am confident. I'm not just like, I know there's only a small chance that West Virginia is going to win, but I think they can do it. No, I'm confident. West Virginia is going to beat Pitt in the backyard brawl. All the right things happened for West Virginia in the offseason, and all the wrong things happened to Pitt. That's why I'm calling it. And that's why even fans that aren't West Virginia fans, Hurricane T2Y, Miami Hurricanes fan, he's calling it too. Everybody is starting to see what happened in the offseason to both teams. GF Sports said just sub to Hurricane T2Y. So we have made sure for a definite fact that Hurricane T2Y has 10,000 subscribers. So there you go. Next up, Golden Blue Dude. Next up on all right, let's do it. Let's do a quick sub update real quick. Let's see how far Golden Blue Dude is from 10,000. We are 3,000. Hold on, what's that number? 3,392 away. 3,392 away, which seems like a lot, but if you look where we come from, that's not a lot. We are more than halfway there. We can do it. I think we can do it by the end of the year. Tyler Mann says, GBD, you're my favorite podcaster. Well, I appreciate that. I really do. I just, when I first started this YouTube channel, you try to figure out, wait, what do people like? Should I do this? Should I not do this? Oh, they didn't like that. I need to not do that again. Oh, they really like that. And then you try to keep doing it over and over. Eventually it wears out. So eventually I'm like, you know what? Trying to please everybody is exhausting. I can't do that. So I'm just going to be me. That I can be the best me. I mean, I can do that, but if it works out, it works out. If not, it doesn't. So ever since I decided to be the best me on my channel, disagree, agree, as long as you're entertained and you like the content, that's all that matters, because not everybody is going to like what you had to say. It is possible to please everybody. Trust me, guys. I tried it. It doesn't work. All it does is give you stress and keep you up at night. So stop. If you're one of those people that worry about everybody liking you, guys, you will live a much happier, less stressful life if you let it go. Don't be mean to people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying don't try to please everybody. If you can help somebody out, do it, but don't try to please everybody. Hey, it looks like Hurricane T2Y is going to be well past 10,000 here pretty soon. By the way, those of you that are a part of the live show and are like, what is this? Golden Blue Dude, never heard of it. Hey, hit the subscribe button. I do college football. Tripped over my words right when I'm promoting myself. College football videos every single day. That is all we do here. So if you're not a college football fan, you might as well turn me off right now. Let you know. But if you are a college football fan, hit the sub and videos every day. That's all I can say. You'll like some, you won't like some. Tyler Mann says, I hate Pitt. I hate Pitt too. I agree with that. So there you go. Anybody else that has the call-in number, the one phone line is open. If you don't have the phone number, Joey's in the chat. Somebody in the chat. I'll post it myself. I have my email address real quick. Give me a second. Let me repost it. Oh, I need to actually check my email because I've posted that a couple times. Somebody may have emailed me in the middle of the live show. All right, here we go. Well, somebody did email me, but it's like letters, uppercase, a number. It looks like a troll email. That's a first. Somebody troll emailed me. Nice. They're getting inventive, guys. They are getting very inventive. That's funny, to be honest with you. Hayden Johnson says, Oklahoma State record prediction, no breakdown, just a simple prediction. Usually I do off the cuff predictions like you're asking or suggesting whenever somebody super chats it. But you know what? I'll make an exception right here, Oklahoma State, because I did talk about Oklahoma State in one of my videos. So just for you, yes, I'll run through it real quick. But from here on out, if you want a based on what I know about the teams, not like in depth, based on what I know about the teams and the actual schedule, Come on. Now I get a call in right when I'm looking that up. Hold on. Yeah, hold on, guys. Hey, you're on Golden Bluetooth. Huh? Oh, hold on. Doing good. Just making sure you weren't a troll.
Kind of excited that the SEC isn't going to pod systems right now.
Oh, you're not a fan of the pod system?
No, and the reason, I mean, I like the pods, and at first I was excited for it, but this way here, everybody can have 3 teams of their own. Like, you know, I'm a Bama fan, so I want Tennessee, I want Auburn, and I want LSU. But by going with the pod system, then all 4 of those teams would be locked in together. This way, LSU can just have Bama as their one game, and then they can pick up maybe Florida, which they hate, and maybe like a Texas A&M. Or if you go with pods, then all 4 teams are stuck in the pod, and they might not really be rivals.
Yeah, and plus you can't protect certain rivals. You know, pods, you're going to leave one. Somebody's going to get mad because you can't protect rivals. I think in that situation, you'll be, you know, it's more open.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. Because at first I was all excited about the pods because, I mean, I want Bama to play everybody at home every 4 years. I think anybody who goes to the SEC should be able to play at every stadium while they're in school. I don't think, you know.
By the way, I'm not smoking. I'm vaping. I'm not a smoker. This is vaping. Go ahead. Sorry, bud. That was a comment.
Oh, no, but I'm not a fan of waiting 12 years to play a team. So, I mean, that's why at first pods excited me. But I do think the 3-6-6 would be better because then you're not locked in because this is like Bama's rivalries, Tennessee, but Tennessee and Auburn really don't mean nothing.
Exactly. Yes. Well, okay, let me ask you this. 3 choices. Which one would you take? Would you take the pods? Would you take the current divisions? Would you take a realigned but still division format? Or no pods and no divisions?
I would go no pods, no divisions, because I think the problem with divisions is you can't really do a division and then play everybody when you got 16 teams. It just don't work in 4 years.
I agree. And if you redo the divisions, there's no way to be able to know in the future if it gets lopsided again. It could happen again.
Right, and the problem with divisions, and I mean, this can come up on a 3-6-6, but it's not as likely. The problem with divisions is, like in the SEC, the West has been dominant for what, 15 years?
Yeah. I mean, even in the year that Georgia won the national championship, they still won. The West still won.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, the East only has, it seems like, 1 or 2 good teams a year.
Yep. I agree with that. And the West is low. Like even the bottom,
and so
the very bottom team in the West went to a bowl. LSU, bottom of the barrel, still went to a bowl.
Exactly. And I mean, if you took a team like Ole Miss and you switched them out with, let's say, Florida, or put Ole Miss over in Georgia's place to make Georgia come over to the West, how many times would Ole Miss have won the East in the last 5 years?
Well, for one thing, they would have won it every time under Hugh Freeze, and they probably would have won it at least the last 2 years under Lane Kiffin. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, you know, I mean, so it's because you're stuck in the West playing Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M. You know, I mean, Ole Miss has had some really good teams. Even last year they were good.
Yeah.
But because they're playing against Alabama every year, that knocks them down. It doesn't give them a chance.
Exactly. And if you get rid of pods and divisions, you're guaranteed to play Alabama every other year, but everybody is guaranteed to play Alabama every other year. There's not any somebody's guaranteed to play them every year, but then another person don't have to play them but every like 6 to 8 years. It's everybody is the same. You get a shot at Alabama every other year.
Right, and who could have won the SC last year if they didn't have Georgia or Alabama on their schedule?
I would say Kentucky.
You know,
I would say Ole Miss.
Get away from, yeah, I mean, it changes a whole lot of things by going to a 3-6-6. It does take decent team and give them a chance at the SEC. If they don't happen to catch, you know, Georgia or Alabama in a certain year, if they don't have them, they would have a better chance than the way it is right now.
I will say this. I do think there's certain teams that would be okay with having Alabama as a permanent opponent. Like, I would say LSU would be okay with it. I would say Auburn would be okay with it. And then probably a toss-up between Texas A&M or Ole Miss. Yeah.
You got to have Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee, I know we beat them for, what now, 15 years?
So they still like playing y'all every year?
There was a time that they beat us 9 times in a row, so.
Okay. That's fair. So I would leave out Texas A&M or LSU and just put Auburn, LSU, and Tennessee. Those would be the 3 teams that would say, yes, we will definitely play Alabama every year.
But see, and then you're going to run into the problem, though, and how is the SEC going to set this up? Because, I mean, let's be honest, LSU, 8 to 9 times out of 10 is a good team. They're going to be a top 10 team, you know, at least 7 or 8.
Hey, hold on, real quick.
So that's going to be
Who are you a fan of again? Who's
Alabama.
Alabama. All right, so I just had a comment that said, and it was Mayhem Matthew. He said, it's crazy how this caller is saying the only reason why UGA won a national championship title is because they ain't played anybody. Talking about the SEC East. I don't think that's what you said, was it?
No. I mean, Georgia, they won last year. They deserved to win. I mean, all hands off to them. And they've won, you know, what, 3 different SEC East in the last 10 years? They're a great team.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, if Georgia would have been in the West, maybe they beat Alabama. We didn't even make the playoffs. But if you would have put Ole Miss on that side, then Ole Miss would have won the SEC.
That's what he's saying. He's not saying that Georgia wouldn't have won the national championship. He's saying Georgia could have possibly played somebody else because I think Georgia would have been capable of winning the West with that defense and above average offense. So you switch Georgia with Ole Miss, Georgia potentially the West winner, and then you'd have Georgia versus Ole Miss in the East. He wasn't saying that's the only reason why Georgia won the national championship. He's saying you could flip anybody from the West over to the East, and that probably would have been Georgia's opponent because they would have won the East.
Yeah, because honestly, last year with the Georgia team, we would have definitely lost playing Georgia at Georgia.
There you go.
We would have probably 99% lost at home.
Georgia just had a historic team.
In the SEC championship.
Yes. I think Georgia fans are taking this whole everybody's predicting them to take a step back in the SEC East thing as, you know, they didn't play anybody and they were at the East and it was an easy road. No, that's not what I said at all. I said Georgia hammered everybody last year, not because they played weak opponent. They were just that much freaking better than everybody. And that's why I'm warning Georgia fans this year, they're not going to be blowing out everybody like they did last year. That was a historic team, guys. Maybe you'll have another historic team in another 2 or 3 years, but you can't maintain a historic team year to year to year to year. You're going to have some fall off at least every other year, just like Alabama. Alabama does it. They don't win the national championship every year.
No, we had a big drop off last year. I mean, yeah, we made the national championship, but we did drop quite a bit after losing everybody the year before.
And guess who predicted that? And you didn't get mad at me, so I'm not getting on to you. But whenever I predicted the same exact prediction that I'm giving about Georgia right now, I did for Alabama. I said there's a chance they can miss the playoffs this year. And guess what? The chance was there. If they would have lost to Georgia, Alabama would not have been in the playoffs. Now, they won that one game that they needed to win to get in, and they got in. Same thing for Georgia. That, yes, they have a shot to win the playoffs. What I'm saying is there's a legitimate chance for them to not make the playoffs, just like Alabama last year.
But anybody who's in the East has to understand that when you got Vanderbilt, which is obviously the worst team in the SEC.
That's a gimme game. It really is.
And then you've got South Carolina. You got Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Missouri, and Tennessee's been down. So there's 4 teams that have been down, the last 8 years. Where the West, you had Alabama strong, you've had LSU strong, you got Ole Miss now strong, you got Sam Pittman out in Arkansas, who turned that program around really big.
Yep.
And you got Jimbo Fisher, who's recruiting in Texas A&M. He hasn't really put it together yet, but they got a team who could be good if they find a quarterback.
Yeah. I think the only team that's slightly questionable right now is Mississippi State, but they still made a bowl too. Maybe Auburn. Auburn had a
Exactly.
less than average year, but they made a bowl too. Everybody in the West made a bowl. Every stinking team in the West made a bowl.
Which, when you think about that, that's pretty impressive because they had to beat up on each other.
And one of them still got the national championship.
Right.
Yes, that's very impressive.
But no, I do think that once Texas and Oklahoma come, I do still think, though, that it's going to be about a 4-team show. I think Oklahoma will step in and do really well. Especially if they wait until 2025. So that way they give Venables a little bit of chance to, learn his coaching style and get his players and this and that. I truly believe that with Venables, I think Oklahoma will be better than with Lincoln Riley in the SEC.
I do too. I think he'll be more consistent too. I know Lincoln Riley had success, but everybody basically knew that once they did get to the playoffs, it was over. They never had a defense.
And that was the whole problem with Lincoln Riley. It's all offense. He's the Ole Miss.
Yep.
Yeah, they can upset you, but they don't play enough defense to where if you can stop them 1 or 2 times, you beat them because they're not going to stop your offense.
Oklahoma is what Wake Forest was this year, what Ole Miss has turned into. Let's see. I don't really have any examples in the Pac-12, not even in the Big Ten, but those would be the biggest examples that you could compare Oklahoma to. Great team. Wake Forest had probably a historic year, but anytime they played a team that had a half a defense, they lost. I mean, Clemson had a down year, but they had a tremendous defense, and that's why Wake Forest lost to Clemson.
If Wake Forest had Alabama's defense, how would they have done against Georgia?
Yeah. And that's the same thing that I said last year. If you put
had
Georgia's defense
offense
on anybody that had a great offense, that'd be an unstoppable team.
Exactly. But if you could have snuck Bama's defense to Wake Forest, where would Wake Forest been last year?
They've been in the playoffs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
And I think Georgia makes the playoffs this year. I think that offense will help carry them.
That's fair.
But,
that's fair. I don't totally disagree with that. My main point is Georgia fans shouldn't think that they're going to blow everybody out like they did last year. There's going to be some games where you're going to sweat it out. You might pull it out, you might not, but either way, it's not going to be a skate through like it was last year.
Yeah, you're going to win by 3 and 7 points. You're not going to win by 20 and 30 every game like they did last year. I agree with that.
And that's the main point. And when you get into those 50 football games, that's when the pressure is put on Stetson Bennett. Is he a good enough quarterback to actually win a game for Georgia? I don't disagree about him not losing a game. If Georgia's up by a touchdown or more, Stetson Bennett's the guy. He's not going to do something stupid to lose you a game. But if Georgia's behind, is he the quarterback to bring them all the way back? I don't know the answer to that
because
yet.
last year, Stetson Bennett is kind of like A.J. McCarron. He was a game manager, and he was able to do that last year.
Hey, hold on.
But this year,
hold on 1 second. Mayhem, you're not understanding what we're saying. Here's what he said. He said, GBD, really, if Neil Brown had UGA's defense last year, he would coach y'all to a 6-6 season. Cause West Virginia garbage. Well, that was the point that I was making with Georgia's defense. If you put Georgia's defense on a team that had a great offense, that team would have had an excellent shot of making the playoffs. That's when I made that list of, if you put Georgia's defense on that team, West Virginia didn't make the cut. We didn't have a good enough offense. I mean, sure, we could have had Georgia's defense, but our offense was not good enough to beat anybody. So, yeah, what we're saying is, if you put Georgia's defense on a team like Wake Forest, who could score a ton of points, or in Oklahoma, or, my gosh, Ohio State, the number one offense last year. You put Georgia's defense on Ohio State last year, I wouldn't want to play him.
No, that would have been an awesome team.
Historic team. Yep. Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna.
But I do think this year, though, Stetson Bennett needs to be a better quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that. He needs to prove that he can handle the pressure and that he can make the big throws. That's what I'm looking at Stetson Bennett. I'm not looking to see, is he going to make a mistake? Is he going to fumble? Is he going to throw an interception? I know that he's not going to do that. He's not the quarterback that's going to make a stupid mistake. I want to see if he can make that throw, that game-winning throw, or that throw that makes the first down, that moves the change, that runs out the clock, something like that. But we're winding up the clock to get off the show, man. So I'm gonna run, man. But I want to run through the Oklahoma State schedule real quick before I get off the live show. All right, bud?
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Appreciate you calling in, man.
Bye.
Hey, bye. A lot of great points. I agreed with most of it. I really did. And I thought divisions has always been stupid. I forget the name that asked for it. I think it was Hayden. I think Hayden's still here. The Oklahoma State prediction. I do think Oklahoma State takes a step back. I mentioned earlier in the video that I did today. But off the cuff, based on what I know about Oklahoma State and their schedule, this isn't like researched, knowing exactly who they have coming back, who left, all that stuff. This is just off the cuff, basic knowledge versus the schedule. Here we go. Central Michigan, that's a win. Arizona State, that is a big win. Arizona State's going to be horrific. Arizona State's going to take a massive step back. They might not even make a bowl. So that's a win. Arkansas Pine Bluff, that's a win. So I have Oklahoma State starting the season 3-0 so far. Weird bye week, though, after the third week. So it's a long stretch after the bye week. 3-0, though. At Baylor, that's a loss. Baylor's going to be tough again. I think Baylor's going to be in the Big 12 championship again, probably with Oklahoma, so that's a loss. So you're at 3-1. Texas Tech at home, that's a win. 4-1. At TCU, that's a win. 5-1. Texas at home, that's interesting because I think Texas is going to be better, and Oklahoma State, their defense is not going to be as good as what it was last year. That's a winnable game for Texas. But I'm going to go half on that. So we're at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-1 with a half. We'll come back to it. At Kansas State, that's a loss. Kansas State's going to be really, really good this year. Sneaky good. Sleeper in the Big 12. 5-2. At Kansas, that's a win. 6-2. Iowa State at home. That's a win. Iowa State's a 7-5 team at best. So we're what? 8-2? Or that's 7-2. Yeah, we're at 7-2. after Iowa State. At Oklahoma, that's a loss. 7-3. Oklahoma, even if they take a slight step back, Oklahoma's always been a tough matchup for Oklahoma State. It is on the road, so I think that's a loss. 7-3. And then West Virginia at home, that's a win as well. So 8-3. Then the Texas game at home. So I would say either 9-3 or 8-4, depending on the Texas game. I think Oklahoma State takes a small step back because they did lose an amazing defensive coordinator, and they lost some talent from that defense, and the defense has been that strength. Oklahoma State will take a step back. I don't think a massive step back. They're going to be a decent team. They'll be in the Big 12 title hunt for a while, but I don't think they make the Big 12 championship. I'm going to say 9-3, 8-4. I'll look into Texas and see who all they have coming back. Look at their schedule, where it falls on their schedule, and I'll make up my mind officially between Texas and Oklahoma State. But right now, I'm going to say 9-3 or 8-4. That's the 50-50 game I haven't been able to really make up my mind on. All right, guys, I got to get off here. It was fun though. I had a lot of fun. We'll probably do another one tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. We'll definitely do another Patreon live show tomorrow. We were supposed to do another one today. I'm debating that because I do have some stuff to do. But even if we don't do it today, we'll do the back-to-back because I have the mark right. We'll figure it out. But I'll let all the Patreons know on the Patreon page. Either way, I will communicate with my patrons, but I wanted to do a regular live show because I haven't done it in a little while. Anyways, hope y'all had a great time. My job is to provide a small distraction from any type of stress, problems going on in your life, whatever. Just an hour to talk about college football. If I'm entertaining and I've provided a small distraction, I've done my job. I'm happy about it. So appreciate y'all stopping by. Next live show tomorrow, 7 p.m. Might be earlier, might be 6 because I have the West Virginia channel as well. I'll talk to Joey about that. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Y'all have a good rest of your Thursday. I will do a live show tomorrow, just don't know what time. Later.